What is up? What is up, guys? This is Mark with the Mic, and this is another the Wrestling Babble podcast by Wrestling Inc. I'm Mark with the Mic. I'm joined by Louis Beans,
What is up? What is up?
and today we actually got a third person, which is old school the Wrestling Babble co-host. He is Minion with the opinion, Joshy.
I'm glad to be back. I miss talking wrestling, and I cannot wait to do this again.
So before we go into like the week in wrestling, and that's usually what we do, we talk about what's going on in the wrestling world. We tend to watch everything, but sometimes things slip. Anyway, there's some news with our WWE champion having COVID.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully he's back before Mania. Not Mania, Royal Rumble.
Well, okay. Did you get to see his? I like the way they did his announcements of
Okay.
him at least still being on camera this week. So did you get to see him talk?
No, I did not. I think I
Okay,
missed
so
that.
they actually had more than just his announcement on the show this week.
Okay.
He had a little thing to say to Goldberg.
Yeah.
So they're making it seem like he will be back in time.
Okay.
So he had an announcement, talking about how serious COVID is and wear your mask and distancing and whatnot, the PSA, right?
Yeah.
But then he also went to a little promo later in the show about Goldberg. So
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe.
I blame Goldberg.
Again, yes. That's the trope of the show. Goldberg unleashed COVID by
Yep.
beating the Fiend.
He beat the Fiend, and he fucked us all over.
Can you guys tell me who messed that up? That whole segment from the week prior? Because I don't know if you guys remember, what was it on Legends Night? Goldberg was saying, "Drew, you don't respect these legends out here," and I'm like, "Wait, he never said any of that. Who messed that up?"
No, that was just his promo. He went to a whole promo of him not respecting this and him not respecting that, which didn't make sense. It was just like
so Mark.
Yeah.
To Minion's point, they did this week address it by having McIntyre say, "Goldberg, why are you putting words in my mouth? I never said this. I never said that." So that's kind of like, I'm sure there was a mistake, but they covered it up by having Drew address it in that way. That's about the extent I got.
It's like Goldberg saying that he's safe in the ring. It's a bunch of lies.
Tell Bret Hart that. That's all I got.
It's a bunch of lies. Anyway, I am not looking forward to that match. We kind of just talked about it last week. I knew that they're going to build to Kevin Owens being in the part of the Adam Pearce spot. I knew that was happening. Like the storyline, what they're telling. I'm gonna give SmackDown 100% credit. Like their storyline is fucking fantastic. Like I'm invested. I'm looking forward to SmackDown. I haven't felt like that about Raw. I have not felt like I'm excited to watch Raw today. How I when I approach Raw is like, damn, I gotta watch Raw today.
Are you not happy
WWE
to
got
see
changed
Alexa Bliss try to kill Randy?
I enjoyed the Hadouken, but that's as far as it goes. Like, you know what? We'll get into it when we go really into the show. The next little piece of news is WrestleMania being announced in the Buccaneers Stadium this year. So hopefully Kevin Owens don't get ideas to jump off the boat. But if he does, please put a big ass like stunt pad so he don't die.
Oh boy, he's looking like he's ready though. I'm just saying.
He's like practicing. Practicing in this
pool. Had they acknowledged if they're gonna have any a little crowd?
So I think the reason why they pushed back the date of WrestleMania, so which now I gotta change my vacation time because they fucking changed the dates. I think that's the reason why they try to push it back, seeing that if they wait a little longer, there's a bigger chance they'll have fans there. Yeah, so now it's on April 10th and 11th. It's going to be a 2-night. So it's going to be, I think, TakeOver is going to be on Friday. I think the Hall of Fame is going to be part of Saturday. Or it's probably doing Thursday. It's going to be a 4-day event. I know Thursday probably be the Hall of Fame. Friday, TakeOver usually has it. NXT usually has a show right before Mania. And then you're going to have the 2-night of Mania.
Should be a special occasion, finally. Back in an arena. Well, a stadium actually.
Yeah. So that one's gonna be April 10th and 11th. But not only did they announce that one, they announced it going back to Cowboy Stadium next year for AT&T Stadium for another 2 nights again. Actually, no, it was one night, April 3rd, and
Just
then
one night.
yeah,
Wow.
and then WrestleMania Sunday, April 2nd, and 2022 will be in Hollywood, which Mr. Hollywood himself, John Cena, presented it.
Well, hopefully
Okay.
by that time everything is cleared up and we could enjoy the atmosphere again.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna say, Mike?
No, I said yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Friend of the show, John Cena.
Yes, fan of the show, John Cena. You know what? Really thinking about it, I actually miss Cena.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
I miss a lot of things about when he was there because there were people in the stands also. So
Yeah.
yes.
Like I miss I think Cena just brought honestly I think the last couple of years of Cena I liked more than most of his career. Like the US title run, I think that was when I started to really appreciate and know what Cena does. So I liked him from there. And from then on, I think
You didn't love the Professor of Thugonomics? I did.
yeah. I liked it,
when he
but
was rude.
I think as a wrestler wise, I think I started enjoying him more during the US title run.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So I actually developed a liking for him, and I think he has. So now, honestly, if I wouldn't mind Cena returning if he does a good story off of somebody. I wouldn't mind it. Like Goldberg, I do mind, but guys like Cena that are going to be invested, that's going to that's going to pay off. I'm for that.
Mm.
How you guys think?
I missed him.
So yeah, when it comes to John Cena, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just gonna say I miss him being a star because I don't want to jump on the bandwagon, but there's not too many of those around.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, specifically on Raw, Roman Reigns is a goddamn star now. Sasha Banks is a goddamn star, even Bailey.
Yeah.
On Raw, it's hard, dude. It's
Yeah.
hard to stay invested.
Yeah, and I don't blame the wrestlers themselves. I blame the consistency of storytelling and just lack of intention that they want to put on the show.
The one thing that hurts it for me is there's no wrestler that's clearly above everybody else, even though they're a champion. So everybody feels just about equal.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
kind of not how it should be. Like you think in the real world, yeah, we should all be equal, but this is wrestling, and it's a television production, and there's a champ, and the champ don't really feel. I mean, Drew tries his best, but still, does he really feel like he's better than Randy? Not really.
No.
He just feels like he catches him with a claymore, and then he wins the match, but he doesn't feel like, damn, Randy's fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. Yeah, I feel I agree with that. Like Raw kind of lacks in that. I think they have the talent to do it. They just haven't fully fledged made it important enough. SmackDown, I think right now is all on cylinders, and this is something that we always take advantage of. What NXT does, each title means something on SmackDown. So far, they showed me each title means something. As in, you highlighted the tag titles last week. You highlighted the IC title last week. The women's title has a storyline. Even the women's division has a storyline beyond the women's title. You have the world champ being on the show, but not always 100%. He's the main attraction. But when he's on there, it's important. Raw needs to get on that. So, anything else? Anything from you, Menu?
Yeah, when you guys are talking about John Cena, you're talking about a guy that I don't know if you remember what WrestleMania was that he faced Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Remember that? How I felt if he beats Bray Wyatt, everybody's getting thrown out of my apartment.
Yeah.
Times have changed, and I got man crushes on John Cena. You know that. I told you.
Yeah.
There's no baby like him.
Yeah.
Nobody could fire up a promo like that. Nobody could turn the crowd like him.
Yeah.
That element on Raw is missing.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre is an amazing champion,
Yeah.
but there's no villain really. There's not like a good. He doesn't have a good dance partner.
I
So
feel
that's what they keep shuffling.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you have something building if you did Bobby Lashley correctly. Now, the fact that her business has belts and things like that, you have something there that you could actually make a villainish kind of thing with the Hurt Business. I think the Hurt Business should be more utilized as the main villains on the show, as in not just there, because sometimes they're used weirdly.
Okay.
And then you have the Keith Lee. Keith Lee you could build upon, but he's a babyface. Like the way you're presenting him as a babyface. But I think he's a person that you could actually make something feel important if you do his storyline right. Even if he gets tired of being the nice guy and taking the shortcut to try to get the title.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Drew's title run has honestly also it's been great, even though it's kind of been a little damaged because the lack of the fan participation. If there's more fan participation, I think you would get a little more hyper for his run. Because if he beats Brock in front of a light crowd, it's gonna go nuts. It's not just gonna be complete silence.
Yeah.
Agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I think they kind of like again we're gonna go back right into Raw, like we're gonna go into the week of wrestling. The fact that they were adding Goldberg into the person that he's gonna fight next, I feel I can name like 6 people on Raw right now that I'd rather see Drew McIntyre fight than go. I could name the whole roster of WWE that I'd rather see fight Drew McIntyre than Goldberg. I'll put Alexa Bliss versus Drew McIntyre right now with her fireball. Against Drew McIntyre, and I'll believe that match more than Goldberg. I don't like Goldberg. I hate Goldberg. I never liked him. I always had disdain for him, and then I had more disdain for him after he hurt Bret Hart. So after that, I never was a fan. But I understand you trying to get him, put him in. You know what? I feel like Vince McMahon like lives by like through his eyes because he's an older man. He has the gray hairs and shit. He's like, yeah, that's an old man for you. And it makes him excited for him to see him beat people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the perfect dance partner for McIntyre is exactly what you said. It's Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I think. All right, so we're going into Raw. Like we see that he's doing something Riddle and stuff like that. But I feel like this time, honestly, you don't have to have him drop the U.S. title wise to keep his momentum going, but hey, we did it with a Warrior. Have U.S. champ versus WWE champ, and then unify it, or make a U.S. title tournament after they win.
I think they need something with meaning for Riddle, because right now it just feels like, okay, here's my big problem with Raw. And I know it's because of the times and because it's shorthanded.
You know,
but when you lose a match,
yeah,
and the next week you get a rematch,
yeah,
it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That's not how any sport works. Why is it like that? How did Riddle lose to Lashley before the whole rivalry started? Remember when they first started messing with him when he was getting teased backstage, right? He lost his match.
Yeah.
Then he ends up getting another title shot, and then that's the thing where he tricked the route. Well, he messed with MVP, and then he stole the win. By doing the tap out.
Yeah.
So then he ends up 1-1 with Lashley, and then he goes this week and gets demolished.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but what was this series for?
Yeah. So my big thing, so I'm gonna you know what? We're going into the week in wrestling. We're gonna start with Monday Night Raw. My big critique of them saying, "Oh, they're shorthanded." That's bullshit. You have a whole group of 5 people, and one person's in a match.
True.
That don't.
Are you referring to who? Retribution?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Raw supposedly was shorthanded, but you have a fraction of 5 people that only one person had a match.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
It's like, yeah, there's ways you could have did a lot of things and differently, and there's a lot of like Triple H and Randy Orton doing a little thing because Drew McIntyre was out. I appreciate it. They did their thing. I liked the promos. I thought they were good promos. Triple H always brings a promo good. He looks like Mr. Burns now, less than than what he used to, but. I appreciate what they try to do for it. Like they try to make up for because they promised a WWE Championship match, or they wanted a potential world title match kind of match in there. But then again, you could have had any other guy do that shit. But it made sense with Randy Orton because of his storyline with especially what he did with the Legends and stuff like that, which I think he could have did more.
Yeah, you're right on the button on that.
Yeah.
Can I bring up something that was weird? I don't know if any of you guys felt this, but I saw it brought up, and as I was listening to Triple H talk to Randy, he said some things that made me go, that's weird. Yeah. He said to Randy, I agree with what you did to The Fiend, but I'm mad at you for disrespecting the Legends. I don't understand how in the real world you can say that. You agree with him burning one of your wrestlers alive, but on the same breath, you tell me, oh, you looked at Mark Henry funny. You made fun of his wheel. That's not cool.
That just made me laugh. That just really popped me. It doesn't make sense at all. It's like, yo, I don't like. I understand burning the Fiend. Like, yeah, he has his own family and shit. Let him burn. But, oh, you said shit about Mark Henry's little scooter. Fuck you.
It's just like, you understand what I'm saying about inconsistent? That's my problem with Raw. That's it.
That just made me laugh because I just thought about I thought of Mark Henry with the little scooter and then you just antagonizing his ass. I was like, damn, dude. Anyway, and then what? That just made me laugh.
Funny, man. It's really funny when you think about
it.
It
pop. That's a big pop.
Anyway, so we started off with Kane and Randy Orton. So that pretty much led into the main event of our Monday Night Raw. Next match, we got Charlotte Flair, Lacey Evans. They're doing the whole storyline with Ric Flair and Lacey. Match was alright.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The match was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark, again, inconsistency. Lacey Evans had her family introduced on Monday, not even on Monday Night Raw. I think it was on SmackDown a while ago. Remember our little girl?
Yeah.
Remember Bailey used to tease her. That was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I ask you again. I know this is wrestling. I know they play characters, but when you introduce the family into the wrestling world, isn't her little girl canon?
Yeah.
Right? We know she's married. Why is she doing this? What happened? Damn it. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Robert Flair. Oh man. So this is another thing that just made me laugh. So I actually posted, it's funny the fact that I remember all the complaints and all the people bitching about Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah being an on-screen couple because he's 10 years older than her.
Yes.
Where's the people complaining about Ric Flair and Lacey Evans?
She's a grown-ass woman. She can do what she do.
Aaliyah's a grown-ass woman. She's over 18.
I was not mad. I was not mad. But hear me out, Merc. Hear me out. I'm just concerned for her little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you imagine your Lacey's daughter and people are saying, "Oh man, I heard your mom slept with Ric Flair.
She went to Space Mountain."
What? Space Mountain. Oh, my condolences. What? So
she gonna kill that man.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
I remember Tori Wilson and Al Wilson. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I remember.
And how that ended. Someone died.
Yeah. It also felt inconsistent to have Ric Flair on the show when they had a COVID warning.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but go.
Not bad. Just
You
like
know what?
wow.
If something's gonna take out Ric Flair, it's not gonna be COVID. It'll be like
No, it'll be Lacey Evans.
it'll be Lacey Evans.
He is who he is.
So much comedy off of Raw.
Yeah.
It's not even about the show.
You know, like the biggest issue I have with this whole thing, it would actually be a good angle if they didn't introduce Lacey Evans' family, like you said. And also, what's bothersome is ever since Charlotte has come back, I haven't even seen them focus on Asuka in the single titles run with any feud. It's just weird.
Yeah. Well, now we actually have a title match on this Monday, like out of the blue, it'll be Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. But you know it's going to be like a story, something's going to happen that is going to deflect it because Randy Orton will probably interfere it.
Okay, Mark, this is getting my hopes up. And I don't like to do that for Raw. But hear me out. This could be a cool moment with Alexa Bliss and Asuka, because if you were to say she has the same powers as the Fiend, which means win or lose, if you fight her, you change. That could be cool for Asuka.
It could be.
Maybe they have a new makeup style. Maybe she has a new attitude. Maybe they could use this to push not only Alexa Bliss / the Fiend in a different direction with the women's division. It could do something different with Asuka. Maybe.
I would like to see. Honestly, I anything honestly with Asuka right now will helpfully. I don't want the tag titles on them because I want Asuka to be on her own too, because I feel like, again, like Raw has a lot of issues with the women's division, with their tag matches. Just like they're losing all the time with Mandy and Dana, but they'll win one and then they'll lose like three, and then they'll win one and lose three. Same thing with like the Charlotte. Charlotte's just there and she's having single matches when she's a tag champion. It doesn't fucking, it mind blows me, because if Asuka's there and there, they should be fighting in tag matches and not singles matches, right?
You're right.
Asuka has a single title, not Charlotte.
You're
They
right.
don't do that either. So I hope they bring in some story aspects with Alexa and Asuka. I wouldn't mind it. I think they have some good matches. I like how Alexa's been working as the character she is now. So I want to see the little changes, especially of her and versus Asuka. But I have a feeling we're barely gonna see any of that, and it's just gonna get our hopes high, and they're just gonna, like, Randy Orton's probably going to interfere like halfway through the match.
I'd be okay if he wore a dress though.
He wore a dress. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I accept that if he wears the dress.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah, but I feel like he's gonna interfere, and it's gonna be part of the Fiend storyline.
Yeah, true that.
But I agree with Minion. The lack of women, like the Raw's women's division right now, needs a lot of work. And it doesn't go with the talent. They have the talent. It's just the way you're booking things don't make fucking sense.
I think that Raw is suffering from a lack of live events because, as I've told you in messages before, I feel like Monday Night Raw is actually like their practice for live events, because you keep seeing the same thing over and over again, and they're trying to make sense of it and they're trying new angles. But when you see it on TV, it gets too repetitive.
Yeah.
So we're just growing tired of it.
No, I agree. Like, I get it. Like they're doing the repetition of the matches. Like, because honestly, if you ever go to a live show before a pay-per-view or a live show before a Raw or SmackDown, it's pretty much like a rehearsal. It's not really. They do the exact same match that they're gonna do on Raw, but because I remember going to, like, personally, I went to, I think it was '98. I went to a house show right before King of the Ring, and then when I watched King of the Ring, like, everything that I saw in the house show kind of went directly the same way as the King of the Ring pay-per-view.
Wow.
You
So
could have won some money on that day.
Yeah, I should have, right?
Wow.
But yeah, like the Raw needs some changes with the women's division, because I feel like I have no interest into anything that's going on there, besides like the Asuka and Alexa match, which I'm excited for, but I have a feeling I'm going to be straightly disappointed because I know what Asuka and Alexa could do, but I know we ain't going to see it.
Yeah, I got you.
Miz Morrison versus Sheamus Keith Lee. I actually liked the match, and I even liked the match afterwards. It's just the fact that, but in this show, you had like a lot of people working double time because you had the same thing with Jeff Hardy and Jason Riker, and then Jeff Hardy losing that one but winning Elias, which didn't make sense. It was just like, okay, why just?
Yeah.
And then again, my excuse of the whole thing: there's a 5-person group, and you're not using them.
That's true. You know what hurts the most too is that when we're talking about building stars and who could potentially be like a up there, the showcase for the people who have chemistry, specifically chemistry with Keith Lee.
Yeah,
have guys, and one of his best dance partners is in Retribution as another man.
Yeah.
And they haven't even looked at each other since they've been there. That bothers me so much.
Yeah, that's a story.
Dijakovic should have been like a highlighted pick.
Yeah.
And the dude is just in a mask. I mean, I'm granted, didn't he win his last match? Yeah, he beat Xavier Woods in the same show.
Yeah.
But could you imagine how much attention they would have gotten if it would have been T-Bar versus Keith Lee?
Yeah.
And they were one of those NXT matches? Like, dude.
You could have had like go ahead. I mean,
to add to your point, it's frustrating because we should expect this already, because we have heard many times what you do in NXT means absolutely nothing now to Vince McMahon. Yeah. It means nothing. And that's the thing that sucks. So we have to kind of like forget that we've ever seen Keith Lee versus Dijakovic now, because they share the same locker room on Raw. And you're not seeing the same dynamic. You're seeing a way different character from T-Bar.
Yeah.
And Keith Lee he's fizzled out, but they're trying to like reestablish him, but it's not clicking right now.
Yeah. I didn't have he had a bad match? No. Him and Sheamus, they actually have good chemistry, and I actually like seeing their matches too. They're very hard hitting and stuff like that. But to have them tag team, have them win against Miz and Morrison, which Miz should be like one of the main villains on Raw, with John Morrison. They should not be taking matches off of people. But and he's Money in the Bank winner too. So like you have no way of like, you need to establish him being a threat with that Money in the Bank briefcase. But what I see, he's not a threat whatsoever.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And so like again, like this show, like honestly, Miz and Morrison, they didn't have to tag team against these two. Honestly, you could have just put Keith Lee versus Sheamus if you really wanted to do something, or you could have Keith Lee just fight somebody like T-Bar for the first time. You could actually act like it's the first time, but they have chemistry. Have Theo Madden fight Sheamus. You could have Retribution go up and down on this card, but again, you have 5 members of Retribution. Use them, and a female.
Who did T-Bar debut against in
Xavier?
His first match. And it was a 4-way match, remember?
Yeah.
He was the one that tapped out. Who was it? It was was it Lashley that tapped him out?
Yeah.
I think so.
And that match ended quickly, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That ended their credibility. That ended his credibility quickly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's so hard. Like maybe Slapjack could have taken that at that time.
Yeah.
You can't make a group like Retribution and then say T-Bar is the enforcer, but he just tapped out so quick.
Yeah.
And at that point, the Hurt Business was like, I was confused of what the Hurt Business was.
Same here.
Because the Retribution was supposed to be the heel faction, and the Hurt Business was like the heel faction, but then they automatically, when they were feuding, it was like the Hurt Business was the saviors of WWE.
Yeah.
So it was just complicated. It's just real weird.
I think they convoluted that storyline so much, and as we're going into this, especially T-Bar versus Xavier Woods, it was a good match. It was actually really fun. What bothers me too And this is something that again we have with the New Day. The New Day is probably the three most talented people in WWE. Xavier can run on his own. You don't have to have him drop to people.
True.
Xavier could be a WWE champion if you really pushed on him. He has the personality. He has the mic skills. He has the ring skills, and I think he gotten better. Seeing that we've been seeing him a lot more in the ring. He mixes power, he mixes speed, and he has a unique look. Like honestly, like you could really do something with Xavier Woods instead of having him lose the T-bar with no reason why the match was there whatsoever. Like at least have a story built for it. This is the time you would use Ricochet to come in and try to help Xavier win because he's supposedly having a rivalry with them. Again, and then the lack of like, why Ali. You're taking the mic away from Mustafa Ali, and that hurts Retribution because Ali's a great mic worker too. It just it just boggles my mind because what I see from Ali on his Instagram, on his Twitter, I've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks. Ali tells a better story of Retribution than WWE does on Raw. 100%.
It's been like that since they debuted as a faction, like with ring music and everything, right?
Yeah, and go ahead, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say the thing that really makes me wonder is I think they don't like him getting again. I think it's a thing of, oh, this guy's on his own doing his own thing. We're just gonna keep messing with him because that's not the way we want him to be.
Yeah,
a star. We want him to be a star our way.
Yeah,
like who does? I don't think there's ever been a wrestler that's happened to where they take the live mic capabilities away from him like that. What?
Ryder.
Whoa, you mean that happened to him when he was
Ryder?
Doing his thing
Ryder was doing his YouTube thing. His YouTube thing was one of the most popular things in the world, and what they did, they had him jobs at Kane.
Wow.
He got thrown off a stage, and then that was his.
Yeah, in the wheelchair. Wow. Yeah.
And Ryder got over by himself. He honestly, it was all Ryder that got over. The people that would like Ryder as the person that he was presenting on YouTube, and then when he started actually getting momentum, they put the U.S. title on him for like a day, and then he had a loss and got thrown off the stage.
That's wow.
It's sad. It's really sad because we're fans. We're fans of Ali. Like we love what he done with Buddy Murphy and things like that and 205 Live and things. These are the guys that I honestly feel like they should not be in the main roster. They should be at NXT and they'll shine more. But that's going to be like a constant thing we're always going to talk about. But it is something that it is. Like Mustafa Ali in NXT right now could easily be NXT champion.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Retribution could be a badass faction if it was on NXT.
Yeah.
And it didn't have the baggage of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. And it's sad. It's really sad to see this. And then, again, the mass amount of talent that's inside the damn... that is inside Retribution should be not utilized a lot better. They're a good group of talent.
I agree. And also... Minion brought up one thing that I forgot was the bounty that Her Business put on them.
Yeah.
Did they ever settle that whole thing? Because I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. I think they won. They had a talking about Minion. He was talking about like the credibility of Retribution because they lost to Hurt Business. But didn't they fight the Survivor Series Raw team and won too?
I think so.
So like it was a lot of shit like that. That's like very inconsistency. They should have did a lot better when once you revealed Ali being the leader, and from there on they fucked over the whole time. Because the next Raw you didn't even see him. He was supposed to explain. So I remember this clearly when he joined. The next read on Raw, they even highlighted on Raw that he was going to explain his actions. That Raw, where was Ali? Nowhere to be found. You didn't see him for 2 weeks.
It's a damn shame.
Yep. You want to add anything to Minion?
The whole thing with Retribution is exactly what you just said. Ali tells a better story of Retribution than the WWE does. it's very stressful because he's so talented in the ring and on that mic. He's really trying to push them to that envelope,
Yeah.
to that bar. And I really thought we were going to get something from him because on the Corey Graves podcast with him, he was talking about how he was going to be in control of that. It doesn't seem like that.
No. I think he lost his shit once he said what he said about the legends.
Yeah. But you know what the theme of Monday Night Raw is? You're getting really good wrestling, but the problem with it is the stories don't make sense. So it's like you're gonna get good wrestling, but it's about theater. It's about making sense as well. And if you're not getting any of that, you're very disappointed, which is what we sound like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go because we are on Raw for a while, so I'm just gonna fly through it and we're gonna talk about it while we go. Then we got match. Well, T-Bar and Xavier was a good match. For Nona, it was a good match. It was nice to see them get on a roll, but again, there was no story to it. I again they could do it better with Xavier Woods as well. Anyway, Bobby Lashley versus Riddle. Oh, and shout outs to Xavier Woods G4 outfit.
Yes, I saw the patch.
He's dope.
That was dope.
Bobby Lashley versus Riddle. I was disappointed with this because it was just domination, and I can see why Riddle actually likes being dominated like that, and then him being the underdog to come back up. He talked about it, I think, on After the Bell with Corey Graves, that he likes to have bigger guys because he likes to get manhandled and get that big pop when he gets the return. But this match was just a straight out dominant match, and like it goes into him losing, but then him wanting to fight MVP, him winning against MVP, and then jumping him. So again,
he didn't even win by beating him. He won by interference because Lashley just jumped in before that he could. Yeah, so it was like, come on.
A lot of issues with that. It's just bad. It's just bad booking. Like it's just bad in a way that, again, you want him to be credible to the U.S. title, but him losing like that doesn't really help. And Riddle's fucking talented, and I would like to see that U.S. title on him, but now if he gets a rematch, because now he's saying that he's going for the U.S. title, now he gets a rematch. Why? Why would Bobby Lashley agree to a rematch if he fucking beat him twice already?
Yeah.
I know if I beat someone and I ain't fucking like, no, earn that shit, motherfucker.
True story.
We got Gulak versus AJ Styles for a Royal Rumble spot for Drew Gulak, because supposedly there's no spots enough for Drew Gulak, which is kind of fucked up because everyone else is announcing their spot except for Drew Gulak. No.
What are they doing to these guys? Drew Gulak is more talented than half those dudes. Yeah. They just got him doing all types of dumb shit.
Yeah.
So mad. But it was still a good match.
Go ahead.
I think Drew Gulak has like a prominent role on stage. That's why they kept him. He's training the bigger men, I believe. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. They want to keep him
helping out with promo classes, I believe, because they really love his promos and they love his technical wrestling. So I don't know what else, but that's a good thing for him. At least he's going to get paid what he's worth.
Yeah.
Oh, true that.
But we do not see that on TV whatsoever.
No, you don't. You see comedy acts with Drew Gulak.
And I'm fine with that. But I like when he's a serious wrestler, too. I think, again, we had AJ Styles versus Drew Gulak on SmackDown, which was fantastic. And this one was like a near, like, not even a close image to that. Which made me sad. Because I was like, oh, are we going to get another classic? No, it wasn't. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke lose to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Back and forth, like again. You said.
And then Triple H.
The tag division is abysmal. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, because even Raw, their tag, well, they weren't there, so they couldn't do what they could do.
I thought Shayna Baszler was ready to go on a singles run, and then all of a sudden they paired her back up with Nia Jax.
Yep.
I said, well, I don't understand this, but yeah, you can keep going.
And whatever, it is what it is. And then Triple H versus Randy Orton, which was just pretty much just a beatdown. And then we got the ending with Triple H with the sledgehammer that got blown into fire, and then Alexa Bliss coming out in the corner, putting the fear hand underneath her neck, and Hadouken. I think
Looked
that was
like
my. Go ahead.
it looked like Dowsum from Street Fighter.
Yeah. Yoga flame.
Yeah, caught him with the yoga flame. All right.
There you go.
Or like the red, like Ryu when you do the full circle, he does the fire Hadouken. Yeah, that.
I mean, that was the best part of the show for me.
Yeah, I think that was the most exciting part because it was a Hadouken. Who don't like Hadoukens?
My favorite part of the show was Sheamus versus Keith Lee.
Yeah.
That
Good
was my
match.
favorite part.
It was a good match.
Good match.
Good match, but again, you could have just put them two again instead of them having a tag match and then going into it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make sense. Like it was like, why? I just won. Why are you so angry, bro? I just won. Anyway, I did get to watch Impact. Impact was actually a really good episode. Yeah, Kimberly versus Taya Valkyrie was a really solid match. Yeah, they were building for the pay-per-view, which Hard to Kill aired last night, so I did not get to watch it, but I did watch the Ethan Page versus Karate Man, and that was very fun to watch. I giggled my ass off on that shit. That was funny.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait.
It reminded me. Go ahead.
He did a bicycle kick for I think a minute on the screen.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did a bicycle kick. He pulled his heart out.
Yeah. I saw the stills like,
No.
Man,
He said, "You're not so hard to kill."
It was good. It was really good. And the funniest shit is, it was just like, it reminded me of like, you remember Dumb and Dumber when he ripped the heart out and shit in the fight scene? That's what it reminded me of. Like the only thing they needed was the heart to beat, because the heart wasn't beating; it was just a fake heart. So at least he should have moved it a little bit with his hand to make it look like it was like beating. But other than that, it was pretty cool. What else we got? So that was the only thing I had to watch. I also watched the pre-show because I always look for the stuff that Myers does. So he did a match with Josh Alexander, and that was actually a really good match as well. I'll try to watch the preview probably today. I found a good link. So
One thing about Hard to Kill, I'm gonna tell you right now. Deonna Purrazzo versus Taya Valkyrie. That was one of Deonna Purrazzo's worst title matches that
worse.
she's had.
Yeah.
And she went on a huge. She had nothing but great matches.
Yeah.
Wait till you see that match. You're gonna be like, oh my god, what happened? Because especially with her opponent.
Yeah.
It's just weird the way, I don't know, it was like the dynamic of the way that match started.
Yeah.
It started with the interference from both camps.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it was like mind-boggling. But then the match, the pace there wasn't even any near falls in this match.
Oh, okay.
It was just weird. Wait till you see that. You'll be disappointed. It was her, I'm going to say it was her worst title match that she's had.
So far, damn. All right. That was a match I was actually looking forward to too.
Yeah, wait till you see it.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out. That also had the Bullet Club members come out with the Bullet Club shirts, I heard. So, yeah, you know what? We'll probably give a review of that next week, so we actually could go through the pay-per-view and actually fully watch it. So, the rest of Impact was actually solid. You had Raju and Chris Bay versus Manic and Suicide, which was a fun match. Anytime you have TJP in the ring, it's always entertaining. He's probably one of my favorites to watch sometimes. Yeah, Dina versus Tommy Dreamer. It was okay match. It's storyline match, so I always give it credit because it's actually building a story to their fight in the pay-per-view. Tenille Dashwood versus Rosemary was pretty solid. Could have been better, but it did again told the story.
I never realized how good Rosemary actually is in the ring. I actually have to give her credit.
She has her moments too. Like again, depending on who she's fighting.
Yeah, because her match versus Deonna Purrazzo at that I forgot. I think it was Genesis. That Impact Plus pay-per-view?
Yes, that was good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she has some good matches. I guess it depends on her dance partner.
Yeah. You had Moose versus Matthew Palmer, which was just a beatdown of a man, and Matthew Palmer, that's Ember Moon's husband.
Okay, shout outs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love hearing things like that.
And then Rich Swann versus Carl Anderson. I actually thought it was a fun match. Good storyline, still good story building. I'm digging the whole Omega thing with Impact. I'm actually liking what they do on Impact more than they've been doing on AEW.
Really? Okay.
I feel like their promo. He's a bit more rough, harder with the promos, and like a little uncensored with the promos. More on Impact than on AEW.
Got you.
Like AEW,
Omega's playing a great cowardly villain, like a cartoon villain, like ha 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 ha, I got him, like one of those types.
So yeah. So Impact was solid. Before we go further in, what grade you give Raw? What grade you give Impact if you did watch it?
I have to give Raw a B- this week.
Yeah.
The in-ring stuff, not bad. None of it was bad.
Yeah.
It's just the story is a lot of it's whack. I mean, Triple H tried to save the show, but I told you what the inconsistency in his own promo. So, you know.
Yeah.
So, it everything took me out story wise.
Minion, what do you give Raw?
I agree. B-. The wrestling is always good on Raw. Problem is the stories don't pull us in.
I'm gonna give it a C because I'm not giving them credit for not having good storylines. You have the talent. I'm not gonna give you credit for that. Like, and then also the fact that your complaint was you didn't have enough people on hand when clearly you do have enough people on hand. It was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So they don't get the credit in that sense. But the matches were solid. Against Keith Lee and Sheamus, I could watch. That's a pay-per-view match. I could watch a best-of-7 series between them two. I'm all for that. But, again, they can't just, like, have a reason why they fight. Not just, like, oh, man, you look at me wrong. You sniffed me. I don't like it. Fight you. And, yeah, I think that's a problem. Impact, I'll give a B. They had some solid matches. Keith Lee, Carl Anderson, and Rich Swann was really good. Deonna Purrazzo versus Kimberly, it was good. So we had some solid matches on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B as well because actually it built up to the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get to watch, or you don't watch it?
No,
you have one. You have one Tuesday show, and that's dark.
Yeah, because NWA is kind of gone again.
Yeah, you got to pay for it now.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Yeah. AEW Dark. Before we go into the AEW, you have anything for AEW Dark?
Yes, actually, I would say check out. Well, there's a few things. I have it on here so I could just run them down. Really good tag match between the Dark Order. What is it? Silver and Reynolds versus Casey Navarro, who was on Impact.
Okay.
And he had this weird tag part because they highlight people on Dark. So it's this weird guy, El Australiano. I don't know if you know that guy.
No.
But he came out and he has like this really frilly outfit and whatnot. It was, all I gotta say is his look and the commentary. Oh my God, it was the best. The reason I love Dark is because of Taz and Excalibur's commentary.
Okay.
And sometimes Ricky Starks jumps on. But like the commentary this week was awesome. I don't know if you know the guys, Bear Country.
Okay.
There's these two big dudes with like these really like their masks look like bear traps on their faces, and they have like grizzly bear vests and whatnot.
Okay.
They look crazy, but they're two giant white dudes, and they're actually really good. They fought this dudes, Baron Black and Nick Camarado, who were kind of like enhancement guys.
Okay.
Really good match.
Cool.
So it's sad to say, probably better women's matches on Dark this week with Red Velvet and Leva Bates. Pretty good match. And she had Anna Jay on her side for somebody, Marty Daniels. That was kind of whack.
Yeah.
It's funny. She had a championship match the next night. Blew that match out of the water. Tay Conti's like Minion says, the person they're in the ring with sometimes makes the match.
Yeah.
Because she's still fresh. With a bad partner, not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
But with a good person to lead her, she's awesome. Besides that, uh, I know you don't. Jungle Boy and uh, who was it this week? It was Jungle
It
Boy
was just it was
and
the Jurassic Express, right?
versus Fuego and Ryzen. This is a silly match because Ryzen is like a comedy wrestler,
Okay.
and Fuego, he's kind of a comedy wrestler, but he's mostly just a tiny luchador that
Okay.
they crack jokes with a lot. So, but anyway, they're both really good at what they do, and that match I think stands out. So for Dark, I'd say those matches I listed actually
Okay.
stood out above the rest.
Cool. Did you watch Dark, Minion?
No, I wanted to ask you something about
Mhm.
Dark. Is Eva Lise more showcased on Dark than she is on Dynamite?
Usually, this is the second week that I think second or third week. Maybe she's out with an injury or something. There's been you just bringing her up made me realize that they are usually always on Dark as a tag team.
Yeah, because she's one of the best female wrestlers in the world, and I have not seen them do anything with her. I think they won that tag tournament,
That
and
was
I didn't
it.
get to watch that.
They did,
Yeah.
and the actual match that they won for was all right. The tournament itself was okay, but the final match was pretty good. But yeah, you just reminded me. It's been a few weeks since her and her partner have been on any show.
Okay.
Yeah, Diamante, right?
Yeah.
Monte, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and honestly, here like the women matches are usually better on Dark. I did not care for the ones that we saw on the New Year's Smash, part 2.
Really? You didn't like Serena Deeb versus Tay Conti? That match?
It was
awesome.
that was a solid match. There was another match I didn't care for. What was the match?
I think they only had one.
Oh, you
I
only had
think they
one.
had
Oh, okay, so I'm
only had
lost.
one.
I'm thinking about last week then. Anyway, so we go into AEW before we go into NXT. AEW did their New Year's Smash Part Night 2. We kicked off with Pac versus Eddie Kingston. I actually thought it was a solid match.
Yeah, I agree. He whooped that man's ass.
Yeah.
That's how it should have been.
Yep.
One thing I want to point out, Mark, like you said, he didn't even wait for the bell. He drop kicked him for the bell.
Exactly. Wanna know
And that's
why?
the type of stuff I like to see when you have a blood feud.
Yeah.
Is I'm not gonna stand there and look at you. I'm gonna get you. So
Yeah. Exactly. That's the way it should be.
yes, very good match.
Yeah, that was solid.
Eddie Kingston is a master seller, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a master seller.
We had Chuck Taylor versus Miro.
That was a squash match.
Yeah,
That was
Miro
a-
destroyed
that was
him.
I mean, he looked good beating his ass, but there was nothing really there of substance. So how do you feel about him being a young boy?
Entertaining, man.
Huh? What you said? A Minion?
I said Miro's not even entertaining on AEW.
No.
None of the vignettes, the behind the scenes stuff that they do with them, it's like it just falls flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really clicking for me yet. I thought I was gonna get excited to see him there, but I think he would have done better in New Japan.
Yeah.
100%.
Same here.
100%.
Yeah, Inner Circle pretty much did their New Year's resolutions and pretty much Sammy Guevara calls Jericho a tag team slut. That shit made me laugh. And you know what? And you know what? They hit points that I've been saying for the longest time, for the last couple of weeks. Is like, why is Proud and Glory not being highlighted as a tag team in a circle? And they kind of said it in this promo, so I was fine with that. I was like, they should be the tag team champions of the Inner Circle. I personally, I'm a little tired of the Inner Circle.
Well, I was gonna ask you, how obvious did they make it that now Santana and Ortiz are now gonna win this whole thing? Because they set up a 3-way tag match between them.
Yeah.
But with what you said and what people are feeling, it's obvious that this is made for them to win.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Because it doesn't make sense if they don't. Although the joke that Sammy didn't get, Sammy Hagar, if they went all in with that, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, wouldn't mind it.
I'm a little losing interest in Inner Circle. I think I think there's a lot of things they could do that they haven't been doing, and I don't see them as that powerhouse faction that they used to be.
I could definitely see that.
And it's just like, all right, now they're gonna work. Now they're gonna fight each other. Like honestly, I could see like the ending of the Inner Circle being attacked, being a group, but hopefully that brings something good for Santana and Ortiz, because I feel like they're slacking with the use of them, because I think they're a great tag team.
Yeah, I agree.
You had the Elite versus Griffin, Grayson, Brian Pillman Jr., and Danny Lamlight. I honestly didn't. I watched the match. I enjoyed it for what it was. I feel like the aesthetics of Omega, I like it more with Impact for some reason. But I see where they were going with it. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was. To be honest, because I know the guys from Dark, I thought it was a great match. Also, I told you, Danny Limelight is dope.
Yeah.
He was doing. Omega let him shine.
Yeah.
You can see it in the match. He let him get his shit in, and Danny Limelight is really good.
Cool.
I like the surprise of that match. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I thought it was gonna be Omega and the Young Bucks, and instead I got the debut on AEW of Andersons and Gallows in the ring.
Yeah.
I was really happy with that. Yeah. Especially the way they pulled the angle.
Yeah.
Because when Omega said "my best friends," anybody that knows, they know Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are like really, really best friends.
Yeah.
So I was like shocked, but I love the angle. So now I'm really actually digging that whole angle more and more.
Yeah, I'm digging what they're doing with that. So hopefully they keep it going and keep it consistent. Jurassic Express. Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy fought FTR. I thought this was a solid tag match. My only gripe, and this is something that it bothers the shit out of me, tag teams need to. I feel like, especially in AEW, they need to like kind of break up pins more than kick out.
I could definitely see that. Because
there's no way in hell, after the spine buster that this dude did to Marco Stunt, that he's gonna kick out that. True There's no way in hell.
True enough.
I could believe that he's gonna kick out.
Difference.
200-something pound man on his chest. True enough.
So like, I feel like, especially when it comes to them, like the tag team should help. Like, you should be like, I understand like they'll kick out. Have your partner come break up the pin. Like, you take my reality of trying to get focused on your match, and now I'm just like, how the fuck you kick out that?
Yeah, I get that.
That was my only. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I like the match for the story stuff though, because it was mostly a story match.
Yeah. Where
Marco was running his mouth and he ended up getting beat up. So.
Yeah. Like, again, I liked the match. I enjoyed the match for what it was, and I actually enjoyed it. It's just those little things that are starting to bother me, because then I focus on those things, and then it's like, yeah, there's no way he should be kicking out of that. They should not be kicking out of that either. But just the help of the tag team breaking up the pin, that makes more sense.
True story.
You want to add anything?
I really enjoyed that tag team match. I actually like the outside interference usage of Blanchard.
Yeah.
Blanchard's father. I forgot his name.
Tully
Blanchard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like the outside interference. I give a lot of credit to FTR for making Jurassic Express shine like that.
Yeah.
Because that's not easy with Marco Stunt, because you could really, really like make it sloppy with him, because he just throw himself around everywhere. Yeah. But they made that match really good.
Yeah.
It's like the first match I've seen of FTR in a long time, actually, on Dynamite. It's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
quick side note. You guys noticed that? I know you talked about it on the last cast. That Tony Khan bought the publishing rights for that new entrance song for Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? That song is actually in the movie with his father in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
I know that.
It is. Like,
when, Luke Perry and Buffy are about to dance in the prom, that song actually plays. So I don't know if that had any more significance, but I thought it was actually a really good. It was a good feel-good. It was a feel-good moment when I actually thought of that.
Yeah, you know what? You put that in my mind, and I was searching that, and actually, I was like, oh wow, that's actually a cool connection. Maybe that's the reason why. But if that's the reason why, that would be cool.
Knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know for Jungle Boy knows that. He knows.
But for him, it's chef's kiss. That's perfect.
That's
perfect.
Yeah. And I just think of Ninja Turtles 3 when I hear that song.
Yeah, I know.
When they in the
hurts.
bar.
It hurts so much.
Oh man, but yeah, I like the presentation that they're doing with the Jungle Boys with this theme. Like, so now he has a theme. Now make him a star.
Yes.
But FTR again, I like the match. Just like those little aesthetics work on, because again, Marco Stunt should not be kicked out of that spine buster. That spine buster was a mean ass spine buster too.
I got a question for both of y'all. Do you think AEW needs a cruiserweight title? Because I kind of feel like they need something else besides the other two, because they get locked up in storylines so much. Because you saw how long you brought it up, Merc. Yeah. How long it took for Darby to defend his title.
Yeah.
It took like almost a month.
Yeah.
It's like they don't have enough titles to have one title consistently be defended, because if they do storylines, they just, one of them is just gone. Because Omega wasn't going to lose that match to Phoenix because it's a storyline. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's truly locked up in a storyline right now.
So you want my opinion on if they should have a cruiserweight title?
I feel like they have a lot of smaller, not even just smaller guys, people who could fit the bill.
I feel like 75% of their roster would be in that division.
I'm just saying.
I'm about to say the same thing with Merc, but the only thing is, the reason why I'm actually agreeing is that AEW's wrestling styles, they mostly all wrestle the same exact way. If you look at it, they all have the same dive style, the same comeback style. So it's kind of like maybe that title can go on Dark and it would actually help out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I won't pass the Cruiserweight Championship match if it actually highlights the Cruiserweights and actually have their own style of matches. I'm all for that, because look at what WWE did, especially with 205 Live, and honestly, 205 Live for a while was one of our favorite shows for a long time, with Ali and Murphy and Cedric Alexander, and but during that time with Drew Gulak and Brian Kendrick and all that stuff.
Yo, I still gotta give props to Zawa and Titus O'Neil and that whole thing. It was a small moment.
Yeah.
But that was one of my favorite things ever in 205.
Yeah. So those are the things I loved about it. Like, those are the things I think they could really benefit, especially in Dark. I think honestly they should have a title like dedicated to Dark.
I agree.
Because maybe that'll be like the breakout star title, like something like, if say for instance they win that title, it grants them a title shot on Dynamite or some shit like that.
True. Okay.
Be interesting. Make things interesting. And then our main event. Oh, I forgot to mention the Ty Conti versus Sienna Deebs was a good match. Good match.
I thought it was Ty's best match in AEW so far.
Yeah.
Very good match.
That match was crisp.
Yeah.
That match was real crisp. I liked it a lot. It didn't drag either. And Ty Conti's been good though since NXT. I remember her; she was developing and she got better progressively. So I would say, Minion, check out some of her matches on Dark, because it's easier because they put them on YouTube.
Yeah.
In match format, so each match is individualized. So if you ever want to just watch her matches, they actually have like Ty Conti versus whoever, and it'll be like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you could just, I don't want to scan through the whole show. Like that's a good way to watch Dark. Like, if you don't want to watch, because they turned it. I have problems with Dark now. Before it broke the 1 hour mark. Before it was a 1 hour show.
Yeah, now it's like 14 matches.
Yeah, and it got bloated, and I have a problem this week with Dynamite because they took the waiting room, and this week's waiting room sucked, I thought.
Yeah.
Because it had too much going on, and then they had the sequence break. So specifically, if you want to see some of her stuff, I recommend watching Dark. But to the point of her getting better, man, she's been kind of lackluster on Dark.
Yeah.
Like, the waiting room was actually on AEW Dark first.
Yeah.
Well, I actually liked it on Dynamite. That's the funny thing. So this week, you think this week's waiting room was bad, but the other ones on Dark were really good?
It wasn't that, because they're never that long. They're never that long. They're never that drawn out. It usually does highlight somebody instead of pushing like somebody else's major feud on it.
Yeah.
It sets up little things here and there to let you know certain people. Like that's what I did like about it. Like they showed Marco and he could sing and blah blah blah, and they showed so many other people and like their little things. And they started the feud between Scorpion Sky and what's Dilly's name? Spears.
Yeah,
Um,
Sean Spears.
Like they established that whole thing when he got thrown through a wall. Like there was they had little moments, and that's why
I didn't even know that.
it was a smaller contained thing. And then this week they had all this stuff, but then the ending part with Thunder Rosa and the promo they played after everything that had just happened, it was just like that just seems off.
Yeah.
To the way
Like just trying to cram too many things in just one little segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we got the title match. Darby Allin's first title match for the TNT champion. Well, first defense. TNT Championship. Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. Solid match. This is the thing. Brian Cage. Brian Cage, like, again, there's a lot of things that he should not be selling.
I can see that. I could definitely see
that. Just like weight difference wise, like there's times in AEW like there's no realistic of weight limit wise. So like, say for instance, if Brian Cage hits somebody that's about Darby Allin's size, they're not gonna fuck out. I don't give a fuck. So there's some things that is just not credible to me when Darby Allin has a lot of offense and then takes it to him. There should be like a building of him taking him down instead of him just going directly to it.
Yeah.
I agree with it, but part of the charm of the character Darby Allin is how hard-headed he is, and so it's like going against that. It's one thing if it's somebody else. It's one thing if it's him for me.
Yeah.
He's a character I give a buy.
Yeah.
Because his thing is, well, you got to kill me. So, well, he ain't gonna kill you. So technically, therefore, Darby Allin has a chance to win the match. That's. But to your point about what Cage sells, yes, I agree.
Yeah. It's just a breakdown. It's not even having, like, I understand they were wrestling and stuff like that, but actually have some, like, again, like, it's just a technical mind, like, go after his leg, go after his arm, and stuff like that, start breaking him down instead of just everything hurting him directly.
Yeah.
So that's my little.
He has no technique. Yeah.
That's my only little gripe. Other than that, I like the match.
I think that match in a jam-packed arena, it really does much better because of the comeback. Because Darby Allin got destroyed in that match.
Yeah.
So, and him not staying down, like him kicking out from a 1 count after everything. That's where I could see like your frustration in it because Brian Cage weighs over 120 pounds more than him.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't care about the big, like, I'm not like we have a buddy Charles, like he's in like heavyweights, he wants them heavyweights. I understand that, but that's not me. I don't care. But if you're gonna show me this, you gotta kind of give me some realistically a thing of it working. And like I've seen Rey Mysterio versus Big Show. I've seen Rey Mysterio versus Undertaker, but they all found ways that Rey Mysterio had to work his way to get them down, kind of thing, instead of him just taking them down. You understand? He had to build momentum to get them down. So those are my little things, especially because Brian is a wide motherfucker. So you need to bring him down a little more and stuff like that. You could even go into like history because they like JR goes into like people's past a lot, especially like if they had injuries here or things like that. That could have been something you could have stored. Like if someone went out, he went after his shoulder he just had operation on. So basically, you could actually do things and it prevents him from carrying you and things like that. So those are the little things. And again, it's not me saying the match was bad. I like the match. It's just like my critiques just to give me a better story on the match. That's my I like story.
The build up to their match was sensational. I love their build up to the match.
100%. Like I like their
the match itself. It was good, but it's just he weighs 120 pounds more than him.
Yeah.
He weighs 120 pounds more than him. He gave him a power. He threw him from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring on the tables. He power bombed them from the inside of the ring, outside of the ring on the ramp.
Yeah.
It's like, just a quick question from Dynamite. Do you think it's a smart idea if to match up Sting with Darby Allin. That seems like the direction they're going with. I don't like that idea because with Sting, you need to be delicate right now. Darby Allin's not the most delicate wrestler.
No, I don't. Okay, well, what I think it is going to end up being is more of a mentorship role where it's Darby has the shadow of Sting over, like he's the one watching over him. He is Sting's Robin right now. That's what I feel like they're going for.
They're going to say that's his daddy.
I mean, do we know who Darby Allin's father is?
Do we know his daddy?
No.
He just came back from buying a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, shit. Damn.
He came from the Raptors.
Sting don't even smoke. No.
It seems at this point, it just brings Sting out so you can hear Shivani say, "It's Sting."
I love Sting. I love Sting more than ever. I love Sting as much as the next guy, but yeah, I'm getting tired of it. Like, I love you, Sting. At least start beating people with the bats. Like,
well,
I think he did hit somebody today, right?
Yeah, I think Ricky Starks caught it in the lip too.
Good.
Caught in the throat.
Good.
Yeah.
At least someone got it.
He was going for him.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean about him being delicate because we know he came back from an injury, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But he hasn't wrestled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he will. I don't know if his role will let him wrestle. I think he will be. I think what they want to do with him is have him. If he has any in-ring action, I think is only going to be in some type of, not cinematic, but it's going to be special, as in he's not going to have a match.
Yeah.
He's going to do something to accentuate somebody else's match. That's kind of the role I feel that they want him to be in.
Okay.
I don't think they want anybody to knock him out. I think they want Sting to be if you're jumping, I don't know, well, besides Darby Allin, you choose whoever you want. That's a good guy, right? And you're jumping him, and you'll say you're beating up Cody because they have a little back and forth, right? And there's 7 dudes beating up Cody, which I know makes Merc smile. And this thing comes out and then clears the ring. I think that's what they just want from him. You know what I mean? I don't know.
They just honestly, I feel like they just want to Sting because it's TNT and he had such a history, and he's kind of like he was the face of WCW, 100%. So I could see why, and I don't mind it. It's just now he's just kind of getting played out, and to the point that it's all right, you're gonna come out every time.
Every week.
Yeah, he don't have to come out every week. Yeah. Surprise me every month or so, not every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or don't highlight he has something to say. I don't care. Sting will be here and he has something to say. I ate a good hot dog. That is all he said.
Know what? Before we get off of AEW in general, I would like to point out another reason I'm upset about the waiting room is because Sting was her next promised guest. And they just took it away, and then it was Cody Rhodes the next week. I'm like, what? Yeah. So mad. Still holding on to that grudge.
Yeah, I don't like the other chick, that new chick either. I'm just
Jade Cardigan. I mean, she's impressive to look at. I have no idea what she can do in the ring. I have no idea.
I have no interest. I have none. Anyway, what grade do you give AEW?
Me personally, I give it a B+.
B+? I give it a B.
B+.
Next show is, I think, probably the better show. Well, actually, I feel like this and SmackDown died this week. NXT.
Yes, sir.
NXT's kicking off the Dusty Road Classic, so we got a bunch of. This is one thing I'm giving NXT credit. They highlighted the tag team. The tag teams were main event, and the Dusty Rhodes Classic is gonna be a fun classic so far. So we had our first match was Shotzi Blackheart versus Candice LeRae. I thought it was a okay match. They built it pretty good. It was a fun match.
And at least her losing made sense.
Yeah.
Because she was on fire this match, I thought, and having Candice have her backup, it actually helped her win the match. Yeah. I think it made sense.
Yeah, it was a fun match. I really enjoyed it.
One of her is here, telling you.
Yeah.
I hope so. She hasn't won the belt yet, right?
Yeah, Chauncey's going. Candace, I think, is going to get the belt, and I think Chauncey is going to be the line up, be the one taking it from her.
It's going to be a big feud with Candice LeRae and Raquel Gonzalez. It's going to be big money.
Yeah. The Grizzly Young Vets defeat Everrise for to advance in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Everrise reminds me too much of the Best Friends, and I don't like them.
What? How dare you? I love Everrise.
Oh man, like I don't know what they do. I don't know what it is, but I don't like them.
Maybe
I want them to lose every time.
They're doing a great job by you not liking them.
I want them to lose every time. Like I do not want success for them. I want them to stay as a team, but I just want them to lose. I don't want them winning.
See, they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
They play those antagonists. They play antagonists. That's what they do. And look, they got you.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, like every time I watch them, I'm just like, what's up with this dude's hair? Why is he kind of fat and skinny at the same time? I don't know. Really good match though. Grizzly Young Vets fucking kicks their ass. Like
they're just one of the best tag teams in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis. I was a little disappointed that that Lumis lost like that.
I mean, I'm always upset when my homeboy doesn't win.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Dexter Lumis on Instagram. For some reason, just pouring a whole Bloody Mary over his head. I don't know if you saw that. Right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It must not have tasted good.
Yeah.
But it makes sense though.
Yeah.
The way right now they're kind of on a roll, and they're not just a faction that's ineffectual. It's like NXT knows how to use a faction and make it effective.
Yeah, I agree.
When you go in a match like that, it is 2-on-1. It just is, and that's what happened. Yeah. Great match, but at the end of the day, it ended up being 2-on-1. And even though he got help at the very end, but it was still 2-on-1.
Yeah, Kushida, they look like they're building Gargano and Kushida, and I'm actually excited for that.
Can you refresh my memory? What was the finish of that match? I'm like puzzled over here trying to remember.
Austin Theory got involved at the end, and that's when Gargano caught him.
He called him what? The shebang, the whole shebang.
No, I believe he called him with the.
He rolls up.
No, yeah. He went for the. So it started with Gargano going for the one final beat. Austin, Lumis blocked it. Then Theory got up on the apron. Then Theory got thrown all the way across the ring to the other side, and then Gargano rolled him up.
Yeah.
And then the beatdown commenced.
And then Kushida came down and cleared out. Good match.
My guy. It's my back, Kushida.
I'm actually looking forward to Gargano versus Kushida. That's going to be something to watch.
Yes, sir.
What else? Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott versus MSK are debuting at MSK. If you watch Impact, they were the potheads.
The rascals.
Yes, the rascals. They said it too. Oh my God, they're rascals.
These rascals.
I'm actually happy Vic Joseph found his spot with NXT. I'm digging his commentary. Mm-hmm. I miss Morrow, but he's doing okay.
I like the dynamic between Vic and Barrett. So.
Yeah, me too. No, that wasn't Barrett. It was someone else, but he was on the UK announce team for a bit. Anyway, really good match.
Nigel,
right? Nigel McGuinness. I miss Nigel.
Anywhere Vic goes, he's been money. I love his commentary. I don't know why they got rid of him on Raw.
Because he said fucked up shit. No, you know what? He had a tendency to change things up, and he got in trouble a lot on Raw because he had a tendency to change things. And in NXT, he gets more freedom. Which you should just let your people have more freedom. Anyway, fun match. Very high flying, very interesting. It was nice seeing them debut in NXT.
I think my highlight was Swerve. Yeah. Not even what he did in the ring, just his character work right now.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Different. He's on a different wavelength and stuff. So I really like this match.
Xia Li killed somebody.
Lord have mercy. I forgot. I was like, who is this unknown girl? But I forget because they hardly use Jessie Kamiya on on NXT. So
yeah,
like, oh, okay,
yeah, she died.
KO.
Yeah, that was fast. I'm digging it. I'm waiting to see Bo do something and seeing his finisher and shit like that because right now what we've seen is Xia Li, but I'm digging it. I wonder who's the person in the costume.
I was about to send you a message. I think it's nobody really. I think it's probably just another NXT person because it feels like it's more of. It's not the surprise of who it is. It's like it's just a character.
You
That's what it
know,
feels like.
you know who I think it could be, and it would actually be kind of cool. Remember the
Okay.
lady, the old lady that was in the Mae Young Classic, the Japanese lady. I forgot her name. Rio.
Satomura.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wouldn't make sense because she's not Chinese.
Well, Bo's not Chinese. No, he is Chinese.
Yeah,
That's true. They don't care.
yeah.
I don't know. That would have been cool. Now you ruined my dreams.
My bad.
Anyway, I like the presentation. I actually think the theme is pretty dope, and I see that she's using a different weapon every time.
I like that. That's awesome.
Cool. Reminds me of Tekken.
Reminds me of Mortal Kombat almost.
Yeah.
Like, this is your character. This is who you were going to fight before you die. All right.
You know, this is something that I feel like actually the main roster could use nowadays because we don't really get it in the main roster. We only get it in mainly XST is the vignettes.
Agreed.
I miss the vignettes. The vignettes kind of sold you on the guy. You're like, oh, I'm excited to see them, and then
True.
because we haven't done. Who's the last person to have vignettes on Raw or SmackDown?
I think Keith Lee. Did he have one before he got when he first got there?
I don't know. You know me?
Trying to remember. I'm kind of foggy right now. I'm trying to remember.
Keith Lee.
When I think of it, I'll
I
come
think
back.
Riddle got some on SmackDown though.
Riddle got on SmackDown.
Mhm.
I think Lee got it, but it was just like for 1 week. It was just like, hey, I'm debuting next week.
Gotcha.
It wasn't like New Days. Like New Days had the preacher coming out and they presented each time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like remember Razor Ramon had the little vignettes in the fucking in Miami and just talking shit like he's Scarface, and I miss that kind of aesthetic, and I think NXT's been using it quite well because we even got there when Damian Priest showed up and things like that. I think it gives you excitement for characters, and the whole thing with Xia Li is fucking fantastic. Like the vignettes, I don't know what the fuck I was watching, but I was like, what the hell's going on? I love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. They did a really good job. Anyway. And then the main event, I think this is one of my favorite matches of the week, is Undisputed Era versus Breezango.
Woo, my match of the week, definitely. I loved every minute of this match. I would love people to get off their high horses and acknowledge Breezango as a top tier tag team.
Damn right.
Stop it already. Stop it.
I love Breezango. So anytime they're in it, I'm 100% into it, and I kind of wish they went further into the tournament because we love Breezango here, and I think they could have did more with other people, but I appreciate this match 100%. From even the little aesthetics, like Michael Cole and Breeze have a lot of chemistry. Like Fandango has chemistry with all those guys, and it's a breath of fresh air to see.
Here's something I don't know if you picked up, but when the match starts, you can hear Cole say to Breeze, like, "You ready, buddy?"
Yeah.
Just like, it's Jugs versus Breeze. All right.
I forgot to mention the Pete Dunne and Finn Balor. Balor's promo was fantastic. I love what Balor is reminding me of young Triple H when he first started the game character.
Okay.
He's reminding me of him a lot. With the things he says and the things how he approaches it, he reminds me of like that version of Triple H.
Okay. I can definitely see that.
But yeah, Pete Dunne, Finn Balor is looking like that's going to be a fight, and that's something I've been wanting to see for a while. So I'm excited for that as well.
Definitely.
Anything else, Minion? You want to say anything for this match?
The whole thing, the whole dynamic of the the finish. I don't. I'm loving NXT because I have no idea what's gonna happen. Because this story is so weird. Like, why is Finn Balor helping out Undisputed Era?
Yeah.
And there seems to be some kind of like it looks like the band is about to separate when it comes to Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Because Kyle O'Reilly keeps getting jumped.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have no idea.
Oh, he got his jaw cracked now too, so it's good. But really strong NXT. NXT get an A+.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, Finn Balor finally reinvented himself again.
And it's fantastic. I'm
Yeah,
here for
he's
it.
way more physical. Like, I don't know, something clicked. I told you,
Mm-hmm.
it's a way different Finn Balor than when he first came back from NXT.
Yeah.
Something's different.
Yeah, you know,
I love it.
I know we talked about it, especially when he returned to NXT. When he first returned, like I know all of us were extremely excited to see him back in NXT. And but what they did was beyond our limits. Like I was like, oh shit, this is the Balor that we've been wanting to see. Sadly, he couldn't do it on the main roster, but I'm so happy he's back in NXT.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, A+. I did watch NXT UK. A very solid Walter versus A-Kid was really good. There was another match. Oh, Tyler Bates versus this dude looks like an old Tyson Kidd. I forgot. I don't know his name. But that was actually a really good match. I was saying to I think you, or I was saying something like that. If Tyler Bates was like 6'2", he'll be a WWE champion.
I agree. It's just I feel bad that he has to be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that it has to be like that, but you know that it is.
Yeah.
Because Tyler Bate is really short. He's like 5'6", 5'7", but he wrestles fantastic. I forget that he's in UK still. I was like, damn, I've been missing a lot of his matches, and I had to go back because I missed the Jordan Devlin match with him, and I was like, all right, I gotta go watch that match. Then I gotta watch the last title defense. I gotta catch up with UK stuff a lot. So I've been watching by matches though.
You must.
Yeah.
No, Walter versus A-Kid was Walter doesn't have bad matches since he doesn't have bad matches at all.
You're gonna hear some smacks. You're gonna hear some power bombs. You get the same. He's mean.
The commentating also sets everything up to make it better.
Yeah.
Nigel McGuinness is so detailed on how they work.
Yeah.
How the wrestlers each work each other.
Yeah.
So it's just something beautiful.
Yeah. I like that. And last but not least, Friday Night SmackDown. Thought it was a great match. Great show. Really good storylines building, especially at the beginning of the show, with the family coming the tribe coming out and demanding that Adam Pearce signs the contract and things like that, and building on to the Royal Rumble. And it was a whole storyline with that. I would love it. It was great. And then we got Nakamura versus Jey Uso.
Yes, sir.
And
Awesome.
kicking the shit out of him. Back with the old theme. I was excited. That popped me.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy.
I'm
with
just
that.
gonna be mad when they put in the fake crowd singing.
Yeah.
That's gonna make me mad.
Nah, we're gonna love that. You're gonna love that. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You missed it. Come on, you missed it.
I wish there was a way you can get people singing, but you can't put a live mic
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah.
Just say.
One note of that Nakamura versus Jey Uso match. Nakamura was working like the old Nakamura when he faced Sami Zayn. A lot of the knee strikes to the gut area, the snap German. I was loving it. A lot of he works so much better when he's a single wrestler.
Yeah, I'm excited. And Cesaro was on commentating, which I actually like too, because we got to talk to Cesaro and see what's in his mind. And it actually led to a match. Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan was later that match. I like the whole jacket and the tie and shit. Go Cesaro.
How he pull off the jacket, tie, and a pair of jeans? Come on, only Cesaro. Yeah. I'm not gonna question him. Yeah. Hell no.
Liv Morgan versus Natalia. I thought it was a solid match. Fucking Billie Kay's gold. I love Billie Kay. She has me fucking gut laughing, man. She has me laughing. She's fucking great. And she's not even wrestling, and she's being a star of the women's division kind of thing, and I love it. Go Billy
Yeah.
Kay. She listened to Blink 182 once, so she's punk.
It seems like if you give anything to Billy Kay, she's just happy with it as long as she's on TV time,
Yeah,
and she actually makes the best of it.
I love that she's more herself now. Like her character's her. Like she's that crazy. She's like, you ever watch her up, like when she's on Up Up Down Down, things like that. Yo, she's really funny. She's really like has comedic timing and things like that. She has a lot of personality. I'm glad that they're actually showing it now.
Yeah, I agree. I love my favorite little thing of the entire thing though was when she was coming down the ramp. She did the horns.
Yeah,
And then when she at the end of the match, when not in the end of the match, when they got on the apron
Yeah.
and they were trying to do the Riot Squad pose,
yeah,
and Ruby was not having it, and you see her do it again on the side,
yeah.
and Ruby just like, I give up, and literally couldn't stop laughing. I was just like, oh, she's the best.
Yeah, it was really funny. And then in the entrance when she's like asking to get up too.
Yeah,
It was funny. I like her. She's gold. The match was solid too. So at least they have other like storylines going on SmackDown. This is something I'm going to give it credit to. Is that you have this tag team rivalry right now, and Billy Kay involvement. You have Bailey and Bianca Belair having their little rivalry right now. You have the women's champion Sasha Banks with Carmella, and I think they work off really good with each other. The women's division on SmackDown, you're a full cylinder. They have a bunch of storylines going.
yes, 100%.
So
they're all pretty good.
yeah. Yep. Next match, Rey Mysterio versus King Corbin. Okay match.
Hmm. It was more of a story thing because you could tell they were setting up for Dominic,
Yeah.
I guess, versus King Corbin.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you saw at the end, they set up some stuff later where Rey Mysterio was counseling his son about, oh, you got to do this, got to be smart, and then they hint at Rey Mysterio like, oh, I got the right person for you. I'm like, are you bringing back Cain Velasquez?
He's gonna bring
That's all I feel like is coming back.
Buddy Murphy gonna fight King Corbin.
Oh Lord! Don't do
One
that
quick
to-
question. I don't remember. Were the Knights of the Lone Wolf with Corbin? No, right?
This
No.
week.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to remember that.
No, they were not. I forgot about them.
They are tacky. That hoodie and blazer combo, it's not working for me.
No.
Pretty lazy.
Yeah, I didn't care for the Corbin Rey Mysterio match. I wanted something more. But yeah, Rey Mysterio loses all the time. So
He looked like he had a diaper on as well.
He
I was
did.
upset with his character. I'm sure that if you look up what that outfit was, it was probably a tribute to some superhero or something. I'm sorry, Ray, but you looked like you were either fighting in your underwear or you had a diaper on. That's
he's fighting his tidy whities. Oh man. The Ding Dong Hello show with Bianca Belair. I thought it was funny. She kind of did the whole APA thing, that knock on the door to come in.
okay. My favorite line of the whole thing though was when she brought Bianca out and she said, "Hey, I wonder who it is." And you just hear Bianca from behind the door. Bailey, you know who it is. Open it.
It was fun. It was entertaining. And then our main event. No, it wasn't our main event. Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro. Damn, that match was fantastic.
Very good.
I was like that. That's tied with the Tyler Breeze and the Breezango and the Undisputed Era for this week. Cesaro wins clean, no roll ups,
Yeah.
no nothing. He catches him with the uppercut, neutralizer, and we need more of that. More
I wish that
Cesaro.
pop up. The pop up uppercut, I wish was his finisher.
Me too. Me too. I think that move looks so devastating, especially if he catches certain people. But yeah, he still uses the neutralizer. The swing was back. Everything came in. I love this match. It's something just fun to watch, and damn, that was good.
That was an excellent wrestling match.
Yep. And then we have Apollo Crews versus Sami Zayn with Big E on the couch with his Ghostbuster sweater. Very good match. Very fun match. I'm digging what they're doing with Apollo and Big E. See where it goes.
And don't forget, the thread that was going throughout the show was Apollo, due to the interview with
Yeah.
Paul Heyman last week. They didn't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so the storyline is still going. He got invited to hang with the chief this week,
Yeah, and he was.
and you heard he was taking tips from the chief.
Yeah, that was actually cool. I actually like that a lot.
I'm
So
loving the
yeah,
Sami Zayn dynamic with the documentary
That shit
being
had me rolling
filmed.
too. That had me
I'm loving
laughing
that.
too. I'm loving
Biggie was
that as
great.
well.
Stuff
And
Biggie was saying, he can't call me brother. He
yeah,
can't call me brother.
Sami Zayn looked at 3 different cameras, and then the documentary camera. He held the tights. You seen it? It's, the most was hilarious.
yeah, it's great. Like their dynamic is good. They have a good champion division right now, and hopefully they add some more and keep going with this. I do like the whole. If you watched Talking Smack, the promo, Biggie and Apollo, they went at each other like just talking and shit. That was actually really good too. So definitely check that out. Contract signing for the Royal Rumble kind of closed out the show. We have Kevin Owens returning and signing a contract for the Last Man Standing match against Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have something to say about this. Can you guys please explain to me what was going on? I couldn't really understand much because their microphones were so bad
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that segment.
yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't understand the deal that he made because he said he walked away, and I don't know what he said because the mic had cut off. So can you please elaborate what happened there?
So
As far as I know, he was basically clarifying that because of the fact that he's authority and that clause that's in the contract that says match, what is it called? Subject to change.
yeah,
Hmm.
Matches are subject to change. He's like, well, because I'm authority, I'm going to change. I'm going to change it. And so then he calls Kevin Owens in, and then we get what we got. So that's like
Yeah,
the gist of
because
what they were saying. What at least Pierce's part.
he went up to the ramp and his mic cut off and he was like, like he goes, those damnedest injuries, they still catch up. I was like, okay, but I didn't understand what was happening before. I thought it was going to be Roman versus Adam Pierce originally.
yeah,
So so I was gonna say that in the beginning when Merc brought up SmackDown and the storyline is that the entire night had one through line of a statement that you think was a throwaway. When Paul Heyman said, "Oh, these contracts are all the same," and
Oh
then that
man, that's
came
a
up
good
like three more
catch.
times. That came up like three more times during those specific Paul Heyman contract segments.
yeah,
Then you hear Adam Pearce say that. Then I think you heard him say it again to Roman Reigns before he tells him to fix it.
yeah,
And then it ended up being, no, it wasn't. But don't forget, I'm authority. So subject to change. And then you get the end of that. But the injury thing, I think, was the part that came out the most messed up because that was specifically where you just couldn't hear what the hell he was saying.
yeah. And he was like limping from like his leg, like he really injured the knee and things like that. He kind of like was playing off like, oh, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
And
be
he just goes
interesting.
those darn injuries.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's unfortunate.
So Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, Last Man Standing. I said this was gonna happen months ago because they fought in the cage. They fought every single kind of style match besides this.
True.
They did TLC. They did Hell in a Cell. They did the cage match, and now Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I actually feel that Kevin Owens can actually win.
I'm just trying to think what the storyline going forward would be. I don't think it's gonna happen yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna drop, but I could see KO actually getting the belt, and then probably dropping it like right before Romania.
I could see them going on with a new angle. I think Apollo Crews might cause KO to
Yeah.
lose this.
Yeah, I see that
And
happening as well.
then you get KO versus Apollo, and then you get a slow build.
And I have a feeling that Roman's gonna have a hand in costing Big E the title.
Yeah,
Oh, that'll be a good build up.
I know.
And then
See-
that could start the fire for Big E Royal Rumble.
See, the thing I just thought about because you brought it up was if KO wins, there's nothing stopping for Roman from winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. If KO were to win,
Yeah.
I feel like the story would go in the direction where Roman enters Rumble at number 30, comes in, throws last dude out. Everybody's supposed to be pissed. You know, you would boo him out of the building, but we can't do that.
Yeah.
And that further cements him being just a detestable person going into whatever the next month's pay-per-view would be.
You know what could stop that?
What's that?
If his match is the main event.
Yeah. True.
And then you're like, fuck, you can't win the Royal Rumble. But then again, there's a pay-per-view right before. There's one pay-per-view right before WrestleMania, so you could always do a title change and things like that. I would like to see Kevin Owens just win the title. I think like just getting a one upper hand, because he hasn't really been the upper hand in these matches.
Mm-hmm.
So to give him like one up and then have him lose it again, have him lose it the next pay-per-view, I'm fine with that, as long as you give him credibility that he could beat Roman.
Okay.
Well, I think they established that because in the TLC pay-per-view,
Yeah.
look how much he battled two guys basically so Roman could get the W.
Yeah.
And then the steel cage match, they had to handcuff him.
Yeah.
In order for Roman to win, which was amazing. Because remember, I was texting you the next day. I was like, God, I hate Roman so much because of how good that they filmed him, like just looking at KO laughing while he's walking down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't understand. I run this place.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be the champ, no matter what.
So it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited for the Last Man Standing. I think they're gonna fucking give a hell of a show. I think Roman Reigns has a really good record with non-Last Man Standing matches.
Really? Okay.
I think he has some of the most. I think he has the most wins of a Last Man Standing match.
Wow.
He had a great one against the Big Show. I forgot what year that was.
That was
great.
And when he put the table on top of him.
That was a great one. I remember him going through the guardrail, I think, on a suplex. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I think he had a Last Man Standing with this dude, Miro.
Really? Oh, yeah.
For the U.S. title. He had one with Orton. I think he had one with Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he has history. He has a good history of wins. I think he never lost a Last Man Standing.
Okay.
You know, timing is everything, because I just while we were talking about it, I just remembered something. This is going to be KO versus Roman Royal Rumble Part 2 for the title, because KO battled Roman when he was the Universal Champion.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's it. I just remembered that right now.
Wow.
That's crazy. And you know what? I like what they're doing. I think KO and him been doing an amazing job with their storyline. The fact that Kevin Owens could keep up with him on the mic and everything as well makes this more compelling and it's more entertaining. It makes me look forward to SmackDown. And this is I was saying in the beginning of the cast. It's like, I don't look forward to Raw. I am not excited to watch Raw, but SmackDown, I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be a good SmackDown. I can't wait for SmackDown.
If they put the title on Goldberg, would you guys watch Raw?
Nope. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna be
couple of
very
weeks?
angry. No,
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna watch it because I do we do the podcast, but I'm
Watch the
gonna
Hulu version.
but I'm gonna be angry every single time.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm just gonna be angry every time.
I have one more wrinkle because of what was said, though. Out of all the Rumble predictions and the people declaring themselves, entering and the reason they're gonna win,
Yeah.
Cesaro made a point not to mention winning, but to eliminate Daniel Bryan, right?
Yeah.
Jay mentioned he was gonna win and go to Raw and beat Drew.
Yeah.
Now, if KO wins this, I feel like, imagine if Jay wins the Rumble and then fights KO.
That'd be good.
That'd be very interesting.
And then Roman, then that would put another wrinkle in the whole storyline between the family, between Jay and Roman, because he's
will we
he's not gonna win that though.
Will we see this finger point of doom, the finger push of doom?
That's what I was. Something along those. It could go one way or the other. He could just lay down for his cousin, or this could be the moment where Jay breaks free. Yeah. Jay could potentially win the whole damn thing, which I think. I'm gonna be honest. if that's the payoff of this entire thing, if the entire motive behind this Roman Reigns run was to put Jay up there due to the circumstances that we're in, I would 100% want that.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one time Jay wins the championship for a storyline, I would want that. Him versus KO at WrestleMania, and then you have some further storyline with Roman, and then I would love that.
Yeah. I would like to see Jay.
Writing SmackDown.
Who's writing SmackDown? SmackDown's writing team consists of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's one of the main writers.
You see, like, so they have wrestlers partaking with the storytelling.
I think Daniel Bryan has a heavy hand on SmackDown, and I think it's him, Triple H, and I think it's his NXT crew with Daniel Bryan that's been writing SmackDown.
That means Daniel Bryan's on his way out soon, because I read that in his book.
Yeah.
I read that when he said that, who was it? I think he said Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
He said Shawn Michaels knew what was best for business was when to lay down and pass the torch, not to keep the old guys running around on top, because wrestling doesn't evolve around that. It never gets more exciting.
Yeah.
That was something interesting I read.
Yeah. So SmackDown, let's do our grading for SmackDown. I give it an A+.
I'll give it A+.
And
A+.
Yeah, all around. So before we go and before we like that, we usually do the podcast we listen to, and then also I want to give you a chance to talk about the books you've been reading, because he's been reading a lot of wrestling books. He's reading Daniel Bryan right now. I think you're reading JR right now. Yeah,
I'm reading Jim Ross Under the Black Hat. It's probably my favorite book that I've read so far out of the four books that I've sped by already.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
It talks about a lot of backstage politics that he had to deal with. And basically he's talking about his relationship with Vince McMahon and how the end of his tenure, you can tell they kept bringing Jim Ross back to embarrass him. And I don't remember a lot of the end of his tenure because Jim Ross had a lot of health issues.
Yeah.
And one of the issues that Jim Ross had was, I think he had like some type of colon issue.
Yeah.
And in the book, it talks about one of the segments that Vince did. And he thought when Vince McMahon called him originally, he thought he was going to have like some type of sympathy for him. Instead, Vince McMahon, he did a skit where he did he put like a dummy on the operating table and he was the doctor. I don't remember the skit. And he put like a cowboy hat on him. See, I don't know. Yeah, and then I think like he pulled out an owl, a football, a hat out of his ass. Yes. And then he finally pulled out like a Jim Ross dummy head out of his ass, and he goes, "You see, JR, that's your issue. You got your head so far up your ass."
Yes, I remember that.
And in the book, you could tell that crushed Jim Ross and his wife. Like, you guys got to read this book or hear it. It's absolutely amazing. I really, really can't stand Vince McMahon the more I read this book.
Damn.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more stories. I won't get into it because I'm telling you guys could read it. I've started reading it on Thursday, and I'm almost done with it already.
Gotcha.
Like 30 pages away from finishing it.
Yeah.
Do you know which number book that is of Jim's? Does he have more than one?
This is his second one because his first one is a Slobber Knocker.
Okay.
Yeah. That was like I think WWE produced.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I think WWE has hands on that first book, and then he has a cookbook.
Yes.
You know what? I like learning a lot, especially the backstage stuff. There's a couple wrestlers like I hope they actually do books about their run. Like I will really love to hear something about Stone Cold Steve Austin and him actually doing a book about his tenure, especially his WCW days and things like that. Even though he does talk about it a lot on his podcast and stuff, but to really get detailed like times, of, especially like working with Steamboat, working with Flair during those times and things like that.
Yeah, Jim Ross talks a lot about that too. That relationship that he has with Stone Cold, how that was his best friend. There's so many good things in this book that I guarantee you guys probably would have known. Yeah. But then there's so much more behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Definitely check it out.
Especially like the treatment of Dr. Death Steve Williams. That was like really painful to read.
Yeah. I heard a lot about that.
There's a lot of there's a lot of funny stories, especially with Stone Cold and JR, especially when Stone Cold was turning heel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were telling me about one. The crazy shit is with Dark Side of the Ring, they did the brawl for all, and that was like one of the things that destroyed Steve Williams, the Doctor
Yeah.
Death character. Yeah, it was brawl for all because he got knocked out, and that was supposed to be him. That was supposed to be his rocket pad to get pushed, and he got knocked out, and it fucked his career up.
And that's why I love it that Broski has who has Dr. Death? Is it Broski or is it Brian?
Yeah, Broski has him, and the Wrestling Figure Federation. Yeah. Shout outs to the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. I listen to them all the time. Shout outs to Broski debuting in Impact Wrestling. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see him in Impact. I think Impact is the perfect place for him because I think he has such a great. They both because you know how big I am a fan of Myers right now. So seeing him in a different place, I think Impact he could actually be world champion, and I think he has the skill and the talent to be a big contender in Impact. So it's gonna be a fun scene to see him there. But shout outs to him on that podcast. The FWF is about to finish next week. So we're getting the last couple of shows and things like that, and then Major Fest starts, and they're doing a whole a week of podcasts all the week. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff to listen to.
Yes, sir.
Shout outs to the New Day Pod. They had one for Brody Lee. Very sad, very strong, very funny stories, and is Bree Cesaro, Eric Rowan, Xavier, Biggie, and Kofi, and they're talking about John, the day I Brody Lee, and how close they were, and how much family they were to them, and things like that, and how they treat them, especially when they're going through divorce, things like that. So it's really deep, it's really touching, and it's very sad to hear it. Anna J is on Talk is Jericho. That was actually a really good conversation. I did not know much about her, so basically it opened my eyes to her, and kind of a fan. I'm becoming a fan of her little by little. I've been actually catching up on a lot of her stuff. I haven't really watched her, so that was really good. After the Bell hasn't been on. He has his podcast with Carmelo, though. If you ever listen to it, it's actually kind of funny.
Okay, cool.
It's about
Did they talk about the sommelier? Come on, man. What's going on? Corey Graves, you gotta say something about that.
Chris Van Vliet, I think he has Renee Young. He has Don Callis and someone else on there this week. No, Don Callis and Renee Young is on this week. Definitely check it out. Check those out. I haven't listened to them yet, but I've heard good things about them. And that's all I got.
I got two that you should check out. Check out Renee's podcast.
Yeah.
This past week she had Eddie Kingston on.
Yes, I meant to listen to it. It's on my list. I haven't listened to it yet.
And number two, I sent it to you, I think this morning, Mark. The picture was Tommy Dreamer's latest podcast.
Oh, Sammy Callahan. Right?
Sammy Callahan. That's a really good episode, especially if you don't know much about him like me.
Yeah.
They go through his entire history. And you hear how like those two are friends and whatnot, how they became friends. You hear his sensibility into the business, which is like really different from a lot of people, and you wouldn't expect it. So he's genuinely a good dude for the business, like you find out.
Yes, and he just signed a new contract with Impact. So
and he had a hell of a barbed wire match.
Yeah, I saw the N64 controller used with barbed wire.
Jesus.
I gotta finish that pay-per-view. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I guess we'll wrap this up. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mark the Mike, the Menu Opinions here, and Mike. Follow us on all social media. We are on Red Cyclone Inc. on Spotify. That's one area that you could always listen to our podcast, and our whole history of podcast is on there. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, Twitch TV, YouTube, and SoundCloud, all Mark the Mike. Follow Red Cyclone Inc. on everything.
Yes, anything and everything. That's Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. That's also Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, and we got a WordPress.
Yes.
Check it out.
And check out also our Facebook pages, the Wrestling Babble page and the Red Cyclone page. We are very active on there, especially if you want pay-per-views. So definitely check those out. And Minion, shout outs to Minion. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me back. I know this was a long show, but I enjoyed it. I needed to talk wrestling again.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you. My final plug: read Under the Black Hat, Jim Ross. Amazing book. I'm telling you, won't be disappointed.
Taste his barbecue sauce. He has really good barbecue sauce.
Yeah, he talks about that in the book, about how they squirted that in his eyes and how he kind of went blind.
Yeah. It's good though. Don't put it in your eyeball. it's not an eyeball thing, but yeah, it's actually pretty good. I remember when WWE shop was selling it, and I bought it just randomly, and it actually was really good. So,
yeah.
All right, peace out, laters, and always remember, follow the Jinkies.
Because he got them sandwiches.
Yep.
Still following Jenkins.
Follow the Jinkies. Follow the Jinkies. Always follow the Jinkies. And hopefully Alexa don't send him in a fireball.